Siddhi. And all the time there is only emphasis on knowledge, naturally so. And therefore this Vyavahara etc. is what? It has a certain place. Vyavaharika Satta is there. Something ultimately to be transcended, regardless in whatever mild terms it is said. Here, we will never dismiss karma and Vyavahara, but regardless of what we do, regardless of however we glorify Vyavahara and karma and duties and upasanas which we do, regardless of how much you do that, still the message that is conveyed is today or tomorrow we have to transcend it. We have to grow out of it, that is for sure. And therefore, even though the Swami will make his best effort, the message that people will get is all that this has to be given up. And therefore this Vyavahara, the people have a lot of difficulty now in conducting themselves. And you talk like this for 1.5 hours in the morning, an hour in the evening, and then discussion of other topics also becomes a big burden. Sab kya baat hai? And so that is why it becomes necessary also to give the proper place for all that Vyavahara. So if one thing is overemphasized, other thing totally loses its place. So what is the place of this Vyavahara, Dvaita Vyavahara? And so Kagati Hityashankya Jnanat Prageva Tesham Pramanyam. Yes, they have Pramanyam also. They have the Pramanyam, they have also validity. Jnanat Prag, until the knowledge takes place. No Paschat. Not after knowledge having taken place, the Vyavahara involving duality does not have Pramanyam. Tasmaditi. That's how Bhashyaka now concludes the discussion here. Says page 194. Tasmad aham brahmasmi ityetadavasana eva sarve videha sarvani chetarani pramanani tasmat aham brahmasmi etat avasana ha sarve videha, all the vidhis, all the injunctions, the duties. Sarvani cha itarani pramana. Vidhi also is a pramanam, shabda pramanam. So vidhi is presented separately because that is the main topic of discussion. Then the Purvamimamsa or Karma Kanda is of the nature of vidhi and nisheda. And this vidhi and nisheda, this vakyadar pramanam. Ajnada jnapakatvena, phalavat arthaparattvena, pramanyam. That vidhi tells us or makes us know something that we would not be able to otherwise know by our own, by ourselves. At the same time, it gives us a knowledge of the Ishta Sadhanam, which also will enable us to accomplish the desirable ends. So therefore vidhi also is pramanam. Just as our organs of perceptions are pramanam for the perception or knowledge of the objects, so also vidhi and nisheda are the pramanam for us to know the relationship between the various means and ends. So Ishta Sadhanata, that a given thing as Ishta Sadhanata is only revealed by vidhi, or one other thing is anishta sadhanam, bharavad anishta sadhanatvam is there, is revealed by nisheda. So vidhi and nisheda reveal the nature of things. Which nature of thing would not be evident to us? That surapanam as bhalavad anishta sadhanatvam we would not know, because tatkalika sukha comes from that. And there was some kind of a kick comes by even drinking alcohol, so one would think that it is only the source of happiness. Therefore, it says, Saram na pived, there is a balavad anishtatvam is there. All of this is revealed by vidhi and nisheda. Therefore, they are also pramana. Pramana for revealing nature of things. What nature of things? Ishta sadhanatvam or balavat anishta sadhanatvam. That aspect of a thing is revealed by vidhi and nisheda. Therefore, it is pramanam. What is pramanam? Which makes us see. So, vidaya sarvani cha itarani pramanani. Itarani pramanani. So, vidhi is a pramana, of course. And then, itarani means chakshuradini. All the other means of knowledge that we have. Aham brahmasmi ityetavasanaha eva. How long they are there, their validity? Aham brahmasmi. Up to that point. Until this knowledge clearly takes place. So until then, this vidhi and all the other pramanas also reveal something, which is valid. Until then, you consider as valid what they reveal. After that, you do not consider as valid what they reveal. Meaning, that the eyes and ears and all the chakshu, these pramanas, reveal a duality. That world is different, I am different. That duality is what is revealed by them. And that revealed duality has validity until you come to know the non-dual, which is revealed by Vedanta. That's ultimate antyam pramanam, ultimate pramana, which reveals the true nature of things. So these perception, etc., the organs of perception do reveal a nature of things. Only a superfluous nature of things. That superfluous thing is all right until the real thing is known. Because until then life is also superfluous, so rules are also superfluous, and everything is superfluous, therefore the superfluous knowledge and the means revealing superfluous nature of things are all right. Whatever validity they have, they have. But once the true knowledge, nature of thing is known, as revealed by Vedanta, then the superfluous nature has no more validity in the ultimate reality. Therefore, Sarvane Tasmat Aham Brahmasmi Etat Avasanaha. That also is an explanation of, because these three mantras are quoted there. Atmanishaya. So that avadhi is being presented here. Avadhi, what's the limit of the validity of this pramanam? Aham Brahmasmi iti etat. Up to the knowledge, Aham Brahma. Until then, they have their pramanyam. Says Purnananda in the last line of the page 193, Chakshuradeni Advaita Atmavagadu Satyam Prameyadirahitattvat Pramanam Bhavitum Narhanti iti Bhashyartamaha. Even poor Chakshu, etc., which Advaita Atmavagadu Satyam Prameyadirahitattvat. Advaita Atma Avagadu Satyam. When knowledge of Advaita Atma takes place, then the duality no more remains, meaning the duality no more has reality. Therefore, Chakshuradini Pramanani, these eyes, ears, etc., which were revealing the duality as a valid means of knowledge, they lose their validity. The perception continues. Eyes and ears continue to reveal what they do. And they also continue to have a vyavaharik usefulness. But they no more has what we call the reality in them. The real edge is taken away from them. The edge is taken away from them, meaning that they reveal things all right, but then the validity that they had, their validity is lost once the knowledge of Aham Brahma comes, because Aham Brahma is revealing the true nature of things. What? Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. Everything Asti Bhati Priyam. That's all everything is. The Nama Rupa are revealed by these Pramanas, including Vidhi Nisheda also reveal only that aspect. It is Vedanta that reveals what? Asti, Bhati and Priyam. And then we know that this Nama Rupa is mainly a vehicle of the manifestation of Asti, Bhati, Priyam. Then that vehicle of the costume loses its importance when the real one is recognized. This fellow remains a beggar to you until you recognize that some actor is acting as a beggar. But once you recognize that this merely beggarliness is only in the costume, when you recognize the real one, then the eyes continue to reveal a beggar all right, but the reality is gone. It is not that the eyes stop functioning or the beggar disappears before you just because you have known that it is an actor who is acting. But once you have known that the beggar is an impostor or a false one, when the true person is known, then every time, even when you perceive a beggar, the drashti, the knowledge that will take place in your mind is of an actor and not of a beggar. And therefore, this eyes has lost its pramanyam. That's what, or that costume has lost its pramanyam. This is how we say. It is not that because you know the person as an actor, that you don't see the beggar at all. Perception is there, but then knowledge is different. In this sense, they lose their pramanyam. That's what is said here. Prameyadirahitattvat pramanani bhavitum narhanti. That Dvaita was the prameya so far. That Dvaita is proven to be mithya, and therefore this Chakshuradini are no more pramanani in as much as what they reveal doesn't have validity. Iti bhashyarthamaha na paschat. So aham brahmasmi etad avasanaha means what? Na paschat. Up to that point aham brahmasmi, they are valid, and not afterwards. Tasmaditi. Bhashyakara himself continues here. Nahi aheyanupadeya advaitatmavagatau nirvishayani apramatrikani cha pramanani bhavitumarhanti iti. It is the conclusion of Bhashyakara's discussion. Then the verses that are quoted are, of course, what another Acharya has written. Iti. Nahi aheya anupadeya advaita atma avagatau. Because these pramanas like Vidhi and Nisheda always reveal things which are heya and upadeya. Whenever Vidhi reveals something which is what we call Ishta Sadhanam, when Ishta Sadhanata of a given thing is revealed, basically what is revealed is upadayatvam is revealed. That this thing is upadayatvam, that this is worth acquiring. Jyotishthomena swarga kamo yajeta, when it is said, then Jyotishtoma is swarga sadhanam, Ishta sadhanam. Therefore, that Jyotishtoma is upadayatvam. That yaga should be performed. Whether you perform or not is a different thing. But at least that statement reveals that aspect of thing that Jyotishtoma has upadayatvam. Or na kalanjam bhakshayet, kalanjam na bhakshayet, when it is said, then that kalanjam has what? Heyatvam, that it should not be eaten. Or kalanja bhakshanam has heyatvam, let us say. So kalanja bhakshanam has heyatvam, and this Jyotishtoma anushtanam has upadayatvam. This is what is revealed. And so this Vidhi and Nisheda reveal what? Heya and Upadaya Vishayas. That's all they can do. Or Heyatvam and Upadayatvam is revealed. Now when you know that in the world everything is Brahman, which is Atma, and therefore there is nothing Heyam and nothing Upadayam. There is nothing that is to be discarded because it is yourself. And there is nothing to be acquired because everything is yourself. So, when everything is known as Brahman, which is the self, this whole idea of Heyatvam and Upadayatvam, that something should be discarded and something should be acquired, that automatically loses its meaning. And because Brahman is what? Aheyam anupadayam. It is neither Heyam nor Upadayam. Nahi aheya anupadaya advaita atma avagatav. When the knowledge of Advaita Atma, which is neither Heya nor Upadaya, takes place, and what is that Atma? That Atma is all inclusive. That Atma is all inclusive, and therefore, not only Atma is Aheya Anupadaya, everything is Aheya Anupadaya. Nirvishayani apramatrikani cha pramanani bhavitumarhanti iti. Nirvishayani apramatrikani cha. Then what remains is Nirvishayani. Those pramanas have no Vishaya. Vidhi and Nisheda is no Vishaya because there is no Heyam, nothing Upadayam, and therefore Vidhi will have nothing to do. So may you do this if you want heavens. If you want heavens. Or if you think heavens is not yet required, let alone wanting heavens also is not right. If you think that heavens is something away from you, then there is a question of wanting heaven. Then heaven also has what we call Upadayatvam, then Jyotishtama also will have Upadayatvam. But in as much as heavens also, Etat Samagaya Naste, Ha, Uha, Uha, U, and so all of what is it? These wise people sing that we are all in all the three worlds simultaneously. That's what they sing. So no world is away from me. In that case, nothing is Upadayatvam, nothing is Heyatvam. And so, there was Nirvishayani Pramanani. Nirvishayani. All these Pramanas become what? Nirvishayani. There is no Vishaya. Because Heyatvam and Upadayatvam, which was nothing but what? Because of Mohat. Hitam samprepsatam Mohat, ahitam cha jihasatam. Hitatvam, ahitatvam. Samprepsa and jihasa. All of this is born of Moha. When Moha goes away, Samprepsa also is not there, Jihasa also is not there. Hitatvam is also not there, Ahitatvam is not there. And therefore, Vidhi and Nisheda lose their Vishaya. Vishaya chala gaya, meaning there is nothing now there to reveal because that is not there. Not only Vishaya has gone away, Pramata also has gone away. Because What is Atma? Is Brahman is what? Aheyam anupadayam. In the word, it is nirvikaram. So Atma is nirvikara. In the word, even Pramatrutva also is not there. Pramatrutva also, as we'll explain, also is a product of identification with the mind. That knowerness is in the mind, on account of identification in the mind. I brand myself as a knower. No more I am a knower. Pramada doesn't remain. Vishaya also does not remain. So Prameya is not there. Pramada is not there. How can Pramanam be there? Pramanam can be there when Prameya is there and Pramada is there. So Pramanam is no more there. Therefore, this Nirvishayani Apramatrikani. So those things which now have no Vishaya, as well as the Pramada, na Pramanani bhavitam arhanti. That eyes, ears or Vidhi Nisheda, they cannot be called Pramana because they have no Vishaya, nor they have any Pramata. And therefore, there are no more Pramanas. Iti. Therefore, they have validity. All Karma Kanda and everything has validity up until this point. Aham Brahmasmi, up to this knowledge. Jnanasya prameya pramatra bahadakatvad ityartha. By knowledge, this prameya means what? Hetva and upadayatvam is prameya here. And that's a beautiful way of putting it. Prameya is not merely objects of the world, but hetvam and upadayatvam. That is prameya. That's the prameya of the Vidhi and Nisheda. And pramata also, both of them are negated, are falsified. And therefore, this Vidhi and Nisheda no more remain pramana. Says Ratna Prabha, Brahma na karya shesha tad bodhat pragayeva sarve vyavahara idyatra Brahma vidam gasam udaharati. Brahma vidam gasam udaharati. Brahma na karya shesha. Brahma is not a shesha, is not an accessory of karya or kriya, not helpful, not connected, associated in any way with karya. Tad bodhat, number one. And tad bodhat pragayeva sarve vyavahara. Tad bodhat prag. And before the knowledge of Brahman, sarva vyavahara. All the vyavahara has validity until the knowledge of Brahman. And that Brahman is not Karyashesha because the Karya doesn't remain. How can Brahman be Karyashesham? If Kriya or action were possible, along with the knowledge of Brahman, if that Jnana Karma Samuchaya were possible, then Brahma could have been Karyashesham. Since Karyam no remains after knowledge of Brahman, how can Brahman be Karyashesham? So, Brahma na Karyashesha tad bodhat pragayeva sarva vyavahara idyatra Brahma vidam gasam udaharati. Therefore, when Bhashyakara unfolds this, some gasa is there in front of him also. So, that's why we say that this is all parampara. It's not merely a product of the mind of Bhashyakara only, but this parampara is there. Like Gaudapada Acharya is there, and many other Acharyas are there, and keeping them in mind, he unfolds them. So he also receives his vision from the teachers. That's how they like to say. That is not Shankara Vedanta. It is Vedanta, and need not be a product of Shankaracharya's mind. It is there is a tradition about it. And therefore, quotes here the three verses. Brahmavidam Gasam Udaharati. So, the song of the Brahmavid that is being is quoted here. Apichaiti. So, Bhashyakara says, Apicha ahuhu Gaunamithyaatmano Sattve Putra Dehadi Badhanad Sadbrahmatmahamityevam Bodhe karyam katham bhave. Apicha ahuhu Brahmavidah ahuhu. The knowers of Brahma, this is what they say. Gaunamithyaatmanah asatve. When there is Gauna Atma and there is a Mithya Atma and there is a Mukhya Atma. As we said, the three Atmas. Mukhya Atma, Satchidananda hai. A Mithya Atma, Ahankara. And Gauna Atma is what? Putra, Dara, etc. This is Mukhya Atma, Brahma, Satchidananda. Mithya Atma, the notion of Ahankara arising from identification of the body. and there is a Gauna Atma. My book becomes Atma also because connected with me. Or Putra, Dara, etc., which are connected with I, they become also Atma because they are as dear as myself, and therefore they become Gauna Atma. So here is Gauna Mithyatmano Sattve. When Mukhya Atma is known, then Gauna and Mithya Atma, both of them become Asattva. They become both non-existent. When the Mukhya Atma is known, then Gauna Atma and Mithya Atma, both of them become what? Falsified, let us say. Putra Dehadi Badhanat. So in the Putra Atma Buddhi is called Gauna Atma, and Deha Atma Buddhi is called Mithya Atma. So explanation is right here. Putra Dehadi Badhanat Gauna Mithyatmanah Asatve. When the Putra, so Atmatma in Putra, Gauna Atmatma in Putra is falsified, and Mithya Bhranti or Mithya Atmatma in Deha is falsified. How is it falsified? Sad Brahmahamiti. Sad Brahmaham iti. By that knowledge that I am Brahma, which is Sat, pure existence, and limitless I am, by that knowledge, then the body is no more the self, or the Putra is definite no more the self, and therefore the body and the Putra are no more looked upon as Atma, and therefore that Gauna Atma and Mithya Atma, both of them are now falsified. So, Sad Brahmaham iti evam bodhe. When this takes place, Karyam kasam bhavet. So, bodhe sati, when this bodha takes place, and since when the bodha takes place, this kind of the bada takes place, therefore Karyam kasam bhavet. So, this becomes the hetu. Sad Brahmahamiti, this knowledge, this bodha becomes a hetu for the Putra Dehadi Badhanam, which becomes a hetu for Gauna Mithyatmanah Asatvam. Then Karyam Kasam Bhavet. All of these samagri is required for Karya, for performance of an action, or for entertaining the notion that I am performing action. This samagri is required. What is samagri? That Putra is Atma or Deha is Atma. So that Gaunatvam is Mithya, Bhranti is required, ignorance is required. So apart from these other samagri that the Mimamsakas talk about, Vedantins talk about yet more samagri. For performance of karma, which one? Brahma. That samagri is required. Not only require chamas and all sorts of things for performance, but another thing is what? Brahma is also required. That's the samagri. When that samagri goes, other samagris don't help. So they overlook this samagri. That when a person performs actions with a desire to accomplish something, that a fundamental samagri of moha, hitam samprepsatam, ahitam te jihasatam, mohad, that moha samagri is there, that is not known by them, overlooked by them. So when that samagri goes away, all the samagri is gone away. And therefore, karyam kasam bhavet. Then how can karya or action proceed from this? How is action possible? Says Purnandiya, Hetulabhartam prathamatah prathamaslokasya uttarardam vyachaste. Hetulabhartam. Because in the first verse, the second line gives a hetu, or the reason for the matter given in the first line. Therefore, in order to understand the meaning of the first line, it is necessary to understand the reason for it, which is given in the second line, hetu labhartham. For understanding the hetu first, prathamada first, prathama slokasya uttaradham vyachaste. Otherwise the vyakhya must be in the same sequence as the text. When you change the sequence in the vyakhya, there must be a reason. So here the Ratnavrakara gives the vyakhya of the verse. He gives the vyakhya of second line first. Why is it so? Because it is necessary. Because that gives the reason why the first line is there. Therefore, sad abhaditamiti says Ratnavara, sad meaning abhaditam. Trikale vitishtadi, it is sad. Sad meaning abhaditam, that Brahman which cannot be negated. Brahma, sad Brahma atma aham. This is the vakya there. Abhaditam Brahma. Brahma means Purnam. Brahma means limitless, which is big without any limitation. That means Purnam, which is complete. Atmaham. And what is Atma? Not Ahankara. Vishayan adatte Atma. Yachapnodi yadadatte. Yachati vishayaniha. What is it? Yachasya santato bhavaha tasmat atmedi kirtyate. Atma is called Atma. Apnoti, adatte. So here Vishayan adatte. Yachapnoti, vyapnoti, the one who pervades everything is called Atma. Yachapnoti, yadadatte, one who eats everything, meaning one who enjoys everything, is Atma, meaning one who is the witness of everything. Yachatti, one who swallows everything also at the time of pralaya. Yachasya santato bhavaha, and the one because of whom the whole existence has a continuity. That which provides a very continuity or the satta to the whole existence, that is called Atma. So therefore Atma is explained here as Vishayan adatte. That aspect that is relevant here or applicable here is shown. Vishayan adatte the Atma. Adatte here means one who experiences or enjoys all the Vishayas is Atma. Meaning what? Sarvasakshi. So Pratikamadaya Atma Shabdasama Atma yadi Vishayan adatte the Atma Shabdasama ukva tatparimah Sarvasakshiyaham. That I am this. Adatte means what? Enjoys. Enjoys means what? Witnesses. That I am the Atma meaning witness of everything. A witness of, so, prakasham, pravrittim, moham. I am the witness. Iti evam bodhe jate sadi, sadi saptami. When this knowledge of the true nature of the self is arisen, that I am complete by myself. As I am complete. That's all. Not that I have to do something with myself to become complete. I am complete as I am. That requires a certain mind, of course, to see that fact. But when that fact is evident that I am all right as I am, without having to do anything, without having to add, subtract, change in me or anywhere else, then it is possible when everything is also complete. So you can be complete as you are only when everything is complete as it is, otherwise you cannot be complete. Suppose you think that you are complete but this thing is not complete, then again there is a need for you to change that thing to make it complete. That shows that you are not complete. When you see something else is incomplete, that shows a reflection of your own incompleteness. This also we should know, that whenever I find a given thing incomplete, it shows a reflection of my own estimate of myself as to how I look upon myself as incomplete. So knowing myself as complete is necessarily knowing everything as complete also. In that case, what is to be done? What can you do in complete? What can you do with limitless? Nothing is to be done. Sati, when this happens, putradehe putra dehadi badhanat, putradehe satta badhanat, meaning the putra loses his atmatva. Satta means putra does not disappear as a person, or body does not disappear as a thing, as an entity. But body was looked upon as Atma, that Atmatvam in the body is no more there. Or Putra was looked upon as mind, that mindness also is no more there. Atma, Atmiya Bhava is no more there because that was a product of only ignorance. So Satta Badhanat, Maya Matratva Nisyat. Why Satta Badhanat? Maya Matratva Nisyat. That was only Brahma that I thought I am the body. So it was Brahma that I thought this alone is mine. Everything is yours then. If you want to call something as mine, call everything as mine. If you don't call anything mine, don't call. If you don't want to call one person mine, don't call anybody yours. If you want to call one thing mine, call everything mine. This is the vision of the wise man. Everything is mine or nothing is mine. Both are okay. Nothing is mine, that means there is no Sangha. Everything is mine, that means there is love. See, if something is mine and something is not in mine, that is called raga. When everything is mine, that is called love. When nothing is mine, that is called knowledge. Both are the same thing. And so, this being the case, Maya Matra Punisyat, there is mineness was a product of Maya. That I-ness also was a product of Maya or Moha. Putra Daradi Ahamiti Sviya Dukkha Sukhabhaktva Gunayogat Gaunatma Abhimanasya Putra Daradi Aham. This son and wife I am, so much attachment is there. Sviya Dukkha Sukhabhaktva Gunayogat. So Swa and Sviya, Atma and Atmiya. So therefore what belongs to one? Putra Dara actually are not I, that is known also. And still when something happens to Putra or Dara, a corresponding thing happens to me, that shows that there is an Atmatva bhav there also. Atmiya bhav is there, so Gauna Atmatva is there. So Guna Yogat, Gauna Atma Abhimanam. This is called Gauna Atma Abhimana. That Putra and Dara also, there is an Atmatva Abhimani as much as when something happens to them, there is a corresponding. If they are happy, I find myself happy. If they are unhappy, there is a corresponding unhappiness response in me. That is called Gauna Atmatvam. Naroham karta mudha iti mithyatma abhimanasya cha. And this naroham, identification of the body. Kartaham, identification with the mind. Mudha, identification with ignorance. Iti mithyatma abhimanasya cha sarva vyavahara hetoho. So this Gauna Atma Abhimana and Mithyatma Abhimana, these are the two hetus for all the Vyavahara. Sarva Vyavahara hetoho. All the Vyavahara has its root in this Gauna Atma Abhimana and Mithyatma Abhimana. Asatve, when this hetu of the cause is not there, nimitta is not there, karyam, that nimittikam, vidhi nishedadi vyavahara katham bhavet. Vidhi vyavahara and nisheda vyavahara. Upadeya vyavahara or hetva vyavahara katham bhavet. How is it possible? Hetu abhavat na kathanchit bhavet ityartha. So the very ground for it has been now removed, like the rug is pulled from under the feet. So from the kriya also the main rug is moha. That Brahma, when that is pulled, then the vyavahara no more is there. It has no legs to stand upon. Therefore, the real vyavahara cannot be anymore. Says Puranandya, Atma Trividha, Gaunatma, Mithyatma, Mukhyatma Chaiti. Adhya Putradihi, that is Gaunatma. Or Putradharadihi. Gaunaschaso Atma Abhimanas Chaiti, Gaunatma Abhimanah. That Atma Abhimanam which is Gaunam. That is Atma Abhimanam, notion of the self, which is not primary but secondary. So, iti Vigraha or Vigrahe. Putradaradishu Atmabhimano Gaunah. There was that notion of the selfhood that is there in Putra, Dara, etc. is Gaunah, is only secondary. Why is it so? So, Yatha Swasukhena Sukhi, Sudukhena Dukhi, Tata Putra Dara Dekatena Viyam. Ipi, Itsoyam Gaunah. And so, just as when I am happy and I am unhappy, so also when the son and the wife are happy, I am happy. Therefore, in a Gauna or a secondary sense, it is said that there is Atma Abhimana there also. It is Gauna na Mithya Abhimana, Bhedasya Anubhava Siddhatvad. We know the distinction between the self and the son. I know that he is not the self, and still when this corresponding thing happens, then we call it Gauna Abhimana. This was discussed earlier. Tathacha Putradharadishu Ahamiti Abhimanena Putradihi Gaunatma iti bhavaha. And thus in Putradhara, etc., this Abhimana is there. So it's called Gauna Atma. Dvitiya Narohamiti Dehendriyadishu Abheda Anubhavena. But the Bheda Jnanam between Atma and Deha is not there. Bheda Jnana between I and Putra is there, so that is called Gauna Pratyaya. But Bheda Jnanam or the knowledge of distinction between Atma and body is not there, so it is called Brahma. So Gauna Jnanam always requires the knowledge of Bheda Jnanam, Gauna Pratyaya, while Brahma is arises because of ignorance of the Bheda. So, Abheda Anubhavena, Bheda Jnana Abhavat, na Atma Abhimano Gaunaha. And therefore, this Deheshu Abhimana is not Gaunaha, Kintu Shukto Rajata Jnanavat Mithya. So, Dehoham, Naroham, Mudoham, all of this is Mithya, like Rajata Jnanavat. Tasacha Dehadu Ahamit Abhimanena, Dehadhi Mithyatma iti bhavaha. And therefore, that identification body, etc., is called Mithyatma iti bhavaha. Then what is Mukhyatma? So the first verse has shown here the Gaunatma and Mithyatma. Who is Mukhyatma? Mukhyatmanam nirupayadum dvitiya shlokam avatarayati nanu iti. So to show what is the nature of Mukhyatma, the second verse is introduced by the Tikakara with Nanu. Nanu aham brahmeti bodho baditaha aham arthasya pramado brahmatva ayogadivyasankya. So this aham brahma, this knowledge also becomes baditam, it also becomes negated. ahamarthasya pramatuh brahmatva ayogat. Because even a wise man also, when he performs the activity, then there is a pramata or there is a knower apparently. So as long as pramata or the knower remains, that knower is not Brahma. So when you say aham Brahma, now when you are acting as a pramata or a knower, that means doer, etc., doer, enjoyer, knower. In that case, how do you know yourself? As a doer, enjoyer, knower. That means that is not Brahma, because doer is not Brahma, enjoyer is not Brahma. So whenever there is this knowledge that I am the knower, that time the knowledge I am Brahma is not there. When there is a knowledge aham Brahma, I mean pramataham, kartaham, bhoktaham, at that time Brahmaham, that jnanam is not there. Therefore, whenever this notion, whenever this knowledge arises in me, or whenever this idea arises in me that I am doing something or I am the knower, that time that Brahma jnanam also is not there. So by this knowledge, aham pramada, the Brahma jnanam also is displaced. But that also gets displaced. If you say that Brahma jnanam displaces everything, this pramada displaces Brahma jnanam also. Otherwise, vyavahara is not possible. Aham arthasya pramatu brahmatva yogadidashankya pramatrattvasya ajnana vilishata antahkarana tadatma kritatvat na badha. There is no pramatrattvasya. That pramatratvam or knowerness is what? Ajnana vilasada antahkarana tadatma kritatvat. Ajnana vilasa is a product of ignorance. So it's something that is created by ignorance. Ajnana vilasa or maya vilasa means what? Antahkarana, the mind itself, is a product of ignorance. Antahkarana or the antahkarana tadatmya. Antahkarana also is a product of ignorance, and identification antahkarana also is a product of ignorance. So ajnana vilasada antahkarana tadatma kritatvat. So it is this tadatmya or identification antahkaranam which is a product of ignorance. That is what brings about this notion of pramatratvam. So pramatratvam itself is false because it is a product of moha, and therefore what is false cannot displace the real. My reflection cannot displace me, my shadow cannot displace me, or an ornament cannot displace gold. Similarly also, pramata cannot displace Brahma. That is the idea there. So even when apparently pramata, karta, bhokta is there, it does not displace Brahma. The knowledge of Brahman continues to remain because one knows, like the knowledge of the actor continues to remain even when he acts as a beggar. And so also, even when the apparent pramata, etc. is there, the knowledge of Brahman is not displaced. That's the idea. And that's why what is not displaced is truth. Sat is what? Abhaditam. Pramata is badhita, therefore it is not true, but Brahma is abhaditam, therefore it is truth. So anveshtavya. The second verse says, Anveshtavyatma vijnana prak pramatratvamatmanah Anvishtasyat pramataiva papma doshadivarjitah. Anveshtavya atma vijnanat prak. That avagraha chinna is there, it should not be there. Anveshtavyatma vijnanat prak. Prak means before. Anveshtavya atma vijnanam. Anveshtavya is one that is to be known. Anveshtaha, the one who is known. Anveshtavya. Anveshana means investigation. Anveshtavya, one who is to be investigated, one is to be inquired into, one is to be known. Anveshtavya atma vijnanat prak. So before the knowledge of the Atma who is inquired into, Atmana pramatratvam, until the true nature of Atma is known, so long Atma is pramata. Anvishtasyat pramata. Anvishtasyat. When Atma really becomes known, anvishtaham. Pramata eva papma doshadi varjitah anvishtasyat. Then pramata becomes what? Patma doshadi varjitah. That all the dosha, papa is mainly ignorance. So ignorance, raga, dvesha, pramata becomes free from all the doshas. Anvishtasyat. He himself becomes Atma. So before Atma's true nature of Atma is known, until then the pramata is there, but then pramata himself is revealed as Atma. When the dosha of ignorance goes away, and therefore pramata is no more there, meaning pramata is falsified by the knowledge, in the wake of the true nature, the knowledge of the true nature of the self. Says Ratnaprabha, the Atma apahadapapma vijaro vimrityu vishoko vijigatso अपिपासा सत्यकाम सत्य संकल्प सह अन्वेष्टव्य इति श्रुतेः this Chandogya Upanishad. So that अन्वेष्टव्य is important word there. Then up to that point it has been quoted, So vijignyasitavya, that the word mantra continues. But where does अन्वेष्टव्य shabda comes from this mantra. Atma apahata papma. That's why devoid of all the sin. Then vijaraha, devoid of decrepitude. Jara. Vimrutyuhu, devoid of death. Vishokaha, free from all the grief. Avijighatsaha, free from hunger. Apipasaha, free from thirst. Satyakamaha, satya sankalpaha. One all whose desires are true, whose sankalpas are true. Saha anvesh means who is complete. Satyakamaha means who is akama actually. Devoid of all the kamanas and devoid of all sankalpaha. At the level of sagunatvam, satyakamaha, satya sankalpa would mean that all his desires and the sankalpas are true. At the level of nirguna, it means that freedom from kamana and sankalpa. Saha anveštavya, Atma such as this must be known. Iti shrutehe, jnatavya paramatma vijnanat, anveštavya atma vijnanat. That expression is explained here as jnatavya paramatma vijnanat. Prag, before the knowledge of the Paramatma, who is jnatavya, who is to be known. So anveštavya iti asya vyakhyanam jnatavya iti. Prageva ajnanat chiddhatoho atmanah pramatratvam. Only before this knowledge, atmanah chiddhatoho. Atma is of the nature of consciousness, pure consciousness, that there cannot be even knowerness, pramatratvam. Knowerness in Atma is there only before the knowledge. Then anvishtaha is what? Anvishtaha is jnataha iti. So, pramata eva jnatasan. Only when this pramata is known to papma raga dvesha marana vivarjitaha. So, what is this papma? That is also nice. Papma doshadi varjita. That's why the whole mantra is also quoted. Papma doshadi varjitaha. So, apahata papma, vijaraha, vimrutyuhu, vishokaha, vijigatsaha. And then, what is it? Apipasaha. So all this dosha, papma dosha means what? Comes from that mantra. So, apahata papma, vijaraha, vimrutyuhu, vishokaha. Says therefore, papma raga dvesha marana vivarjitaha. Devoid of papa, raga, dvesha, marana, etc. So, vimrutyuhu, vishokaha. Paramatma syat. Pramata eva jnataha paramatma syat. When the pramata is, right now is pramata. Because he is subject to birth and death and shock and grief, stuff like that. So long pramata means ahankara. By pramata is meant ahankara. But when the true nature of ahankara is known, becomes devoid of all these sins, all the doshas, then that ahankara itself is revealed as what? Paramapurna sat. Sfurati hrut swayam paramapurna sat. That very ahankara reveals itself, or is revealed to be paramapurna sat. And therefore, paramatma syadityartha. This is the second verse. That's Mukhya Atma. Paramatrattvasya kalpitatve tadashritanam pramananam pramanyam katham. Next question. If you say that Paramatrattvasya kalpitatve sati, if you say that Pramata is an imaginary entity, false entity, tadashritanam pramananam, all the pramanas have the ashraya in Pramata. Pramata means the knower. He becomes a very locus for all knowledge. Knowledge can be there when the knower is there. Knowing can be there when the knower is there. The means of knowledge, all of them have their basis where? In the knower. He is the locus of all of this. So when the locus is not there, naturally pramanam, prameya, all of these, what happens to them? Pramatrattvasya kalpitatve tadashritanam pramananam pramanyam katham. Then how can they have pramanyam, validity, when the pramata is not there? Ityataha deha iti. So the third verse says, देहात्म प्रत्ययो यद्वत प्रमाणत्वेन कल्पितः लौकिकं तद्वदेवेदम् प्रमाणं त्वात्मनिश्चयात् इति. That's the end quote. देहात्म प्रत्ययो यद्वत प्रमाणत्वेन कल्पितः. Yadvat, just as Dehatma pratyaya, that Deha is the Atma, this particular pratyaya. This cognition or this knowledge on my part at the moment, or this understanding on my part that the body is the Atma, also is what? Is valid until a knowledge takes place. So how the scriptures also enjoin actions. If this is not accepted, if Dehatma pratyaya is not accepted as valid, how can the scriptures ask you to do things? Hey, you do this and you do that. Only when that you is there, having such and such qualification. So when the Shastra also gives injunct, vidhi and nisheda, that means they accept this individual as an individual. That means they also accept that he is a Brahmana and Kshatriya. And that Brahmanatvam, etc. arises on account of identification of the body. So Shastras also accept the identification body with the body, and therefore that false notion of the Ahankara is valid until this person comes to know the true nature of the self. So Yadvat, just as Dehatma pratyaya, Dehe Atma pratyaya, Dehuham iti pratyaya, Yadvat Pramanatvena kalpitaha, just as by the Purva Mimamsa, it looks upon that as Pramanam as valid. Laukikam Tadvadevedam Pramanam. And similarly, all this Laukika Pramana, all the Chakshuradini Pramanani, all the more Tadvat in the same manner also is Pramanam. They also have validity until, so the duality also is valid. So Prameya is also there, and therefore the Pramata also is there because of ignorance. So until ignorance, the Pramana Prameya takes place. Until then, there is Pramanyam in all this Pramana Prameya Vyavhara. Yadvad Jasyarthamaha Yathayati says Ratna Prabhakara on the page 195. Yatha Dehatma Pratyaya Kalpitaha Brahmopi. It should be Brahmopi. Vyavharangataya Manatvena Ishyate. Vedikai means by the Vedas themselves, or by the Acharyas of Vedas, Purva Mimamsakas. How the Purva Mimamsa is based on the Adhikari and all the Kartavya, etc. So Vedikas, the whole Purva Mimamsa is based on giving reality to the duty, Dharma. And that is possible only when Dehatma Pratyaya is accepted as real. So, Yatha Dehatma Pratyaya Kalpitaha Brahmopi. There is no reason to believe that Jaimini did not know that Deha is not Atma or Atma is Satchidananda. And still it is accepted that as long as this fellow does not know, so long he must do this in order to grow out of it. So, Vyavharangataya Manatvena Ishyate. How? Manatva Pramanatvena. How it is accepted as valid? As an Anga of Vyavahara. So, this Brahmanoham, etc. becomes what? Anga of Vyavahara. So, Vyavaharangataya Manatvena Ishyate Vaidikahi. Tadvat, in the same manner, Laukikam Adhyakshadikam Akshadikam. Adhi means the self. Aksha means all the sense organs. Adhyaksha means all the organs of perception, etc. So, Pratyakshadikam Atmabodha Avadhi Vyavahara Kale Bada Abhava Vyavaharikam Pramanyam Ishyatam. Let us say that all these Vyavahara, Pramana Prameya Vyavahara, at the level of sense perception also, etc., Pramanyam Ishyatam. May they have Pramanyam, Vyavaharikam Pramanyam, they have Vyavaharika Pramanyam, not Paramasika Pramanyam. As long as Vyavahara is true, so long the Vyavaharika Pramana Prameya Vyavahara also is true. So Atmabodha Avadhi, until Atmabodha takes place, Vyavahara Kala, at the time of Vyavahara, or Vyavahara Kale Bada Bhavad, also, since in the Vyavahara Kala the Bada is not there, Vyavaharikam Pramanyam Ishyadam. Vedantanam tu Kalatre Abadya Bodhitvat Tattva Vedakam Pramanyamiti tu Shabdartha. Tu Atmanishya. However, Vedantas have Pramanyam in that sense. Kalatre Abadya Bodhitattva. Since Vedantas reveal Brahman, and the Prameya, the object that is revealed, Vishaya that is revealed by them, is never sublated or never negated. Therefore, Tattva Vedakam Pramanyam. So what Vedantas reveal is true forever, whereas what the others Pramanas reveal becomes falsified in the wake of the knowledge of Atma, whereas what Vedanta reveals remains true forever in that sense. And so, we say Vedantas have Pramanyam in that sense. There is a little problem there, which Purnanandya discusses here quickly. Nanu jnananantaram yatha chakshuradinam apramanyam tatha vedantanam apramanyam syadati. If you say that after the knowledge, if chakshu etc. do not remain pramanam, how do the Vedantas also remain pramanam? Because that vyavahara also is the realm of ignorance. Vedantanam tu iti. Jnananantaram vedantanam mithyatvevi abhadyastu bodhakatvat na pramanyam. It is true that the pramana, prameya, vyavahara etc. is mithya. Still what Vedanta reveals, namely Brahman is satyam, therefore we say that Vedantanam na apramanyam. Vedanta is not apramana. Are they pramana? We won't say that also. Vedanta, these things are apramana. Vedantas, are they pramana? We won't say that. Are they pramana? That we are not saying. They are not pramana because the Vishaya revealed by them is abhadita. And we don't call them pramana either, as it says. Nachatarhi pramanyam sadhiti vachyam. When we say that Vedanta is not apramana, doesn't mean that you should say that they are pramanas. After the knowledge. Advaita jnaninaha shabda tajjanya pramayaha abhavena prama karanatvarupa pramanyasya bhavat. For an Advaita jnani, that prama that is generated by shabda etc., all the duality is no more there, and therefore prama karanatvarupa pramanyasya bhavat. So shabda, what is Vedanta is shabda. And when can something be called pramana? When shabda creates in you the knowledge. But then now the words of Vedanta do not create in him the knowledge. In that sense, shabda tajjanya pramayaha abhavena. And therefore when that prama is there, so Vedantas do not in any way have to now create any knowledge in him. So prama karanatvarupa pramanyasya bhavat. So now there is nothing new that Vedanta has revealed. So the pramana also is apurvatvam, which cannot be otherwise known. So what cannot be known by other means of knowledge is revealed by pramana. But when the wise man knows himself as Aham Brahma, then Vedantas do not reveal anything new for him. So apurvata is lost. In that sense, Vedantas lose their pramanyam. That Vedantas do not have anything to reveal now that he does not know, or is not known by other way. He knows it as himself, and therefore Vedantas do not have pramanyam. In what sense? Prama karanatvarupa pramanyasya abhavat. Tasmat jnananantaram vedantanam na pramanyam chaitrahasyam. So late after jnanam, Vedanta is not a pramana in as much as the Vishaya revealed by them is not negated, nor are they pramana in as much as they do not reveal anything new for the Brahmajnani. So in that it is rahasyam. This is rahasyam. Okay. Atmanisyat atmanisyad ang maryadayam. Akah savarna dirghati sutrena atmanisyad atra sandhim abhipretya. That there is a sandhi involved in atma. That a word is a sandhi of two A's. Atmanisyad also becomes atmanisyad. And this kind of a prayoga is found elsewhere also. That the teachers do. Like Vedanta Paribhasha, elsewhere also you find this prayoga. Atmanisyad Brahma Swarupa Sakshatkara Ityartha. Until the Sakshatkara of Brahma Swarupa has taken place, until then. So, Atmanisyadi Ang Maryadayam. Until then, all of them have Pramanyam, not afterwards. Shankayaha Kah Pariharati Jignasayamaha. So, what is the Parihara of the Shanka? Earlier Shankaya was that. So, Tadashitanam Pramananam Pramanyam Katham. When the Pramatrutva is Kalpitam, then all the Pramanas which are focused or located have a locus in Pramada. How do they have Pramanyam? Katham Pramanyam? Says Pramatrutva Kalpitatvevi Vishay Abadhat Pramanyamiti Bhavaha. The idea is that Vyavaharik Pramanya of this Chakshuradi remains because the Vyavaharika Vishay that they reveal still remains at the time of Vyavahara, and therefore we say that Chakshuradi or this have their only Vyavaharika Pramanyam, they don't have Paramarthika Pramanyam, that's the idea. Advitiya Niratishaya Ananda Chaitanya एक ज्ञान सर्वज्ञ सर्वेश्वर सर्वशक्ति निरवयव स्वप्रकाश प्रत्येक भूत ब्रह्मात्मनि अपरोक्ष अनुभवात प्राग. So this is Brahmatma, Advitiya. This is what has been revealed all along. Atma is non-dual, one without second. Niratisha, unsurpassable, limitless. Ananda, who is of the nature of happiness. Chaitanya, who is consciousness. Eka is one. Eka jnana. So, Chaitanyika jnana. So, Chaitanyika jnana means jnanam which is purely of the nature of Chaitanya or consciousness, nothing else. Not jnanam in the sense of vritti, etc., but jnana of the nature of pure awareness. Sarvajna, all-knowing, means all-illumining. Sarveshwaraha, meaning all, he is the ruler of everything, meaning he is Swatantraha. Saurashakti, all omnipotent, meaning one in whose abhyakshata everything happens. Niravayava, partless or free from modification. Swaprakasha, self-effulgent. Pratyak bhuta, of the nature of the self. Brahmatmani, Brahman, Brahmatma, so Atma, such as this. Aparoksha anubhavat prag, until one comes to know that I am such and such, the immediate knowledge. Bhedatma pratyaya vat sarva vyavaharaha. Bhedatma pratyaya vat sarva vyavaharaha. This is all the vyavahara which requires bhedatma, which requires the duality. Bhedatma pratyaya. So pratyavan sarva vyavaharaha. That bhedatma pratyavan, that the sarva vyavahara which involves all the bhedatma, all the duality. Aham, idam, etc. Yatha darshanam upadyate. So how the vyavahara has its validity. Asminsya aparokshe sati avabhasa manadi pramatradi badhat sarva vyavaharo nivartate. This shlokartha hai. Asminsya aparokshe sati. When Atma is known, then avabhasa manadi pramatradi. So all the pramadu, etc., all of them is what? Avabhasa. They are merely false entities in that sense, and therefore, then they are falsified. Sarvo vyavahara nivartate. All the vyavahara then ceases to be there for the wise man. At least for loka sangra, etc., we accept the vyavahara, but as far as he himself is concerned, all the vyavahara has ceased to be there. It is shlokartha. So vyavaharika pramanyam is there, or pramanyam is there until avadhi, that's all. So pramatruttvasya, that's how it should be explained. Pramatruttvasya kalpitatvevi vishaya abhadat pramanyam. So the pramatru is a kalpita one. Even then, since as long as it is not negated, even though in reality the pramata is a false entity, but as long as it is not recognized as false, so long he remains real. And so long, all the pramana, prameya, vyavahara, which is based on the pramada, also has its reality. The question was that if you say that pramada is false, then even today also, how can this pramana, prameya, vyavahara have any validity? But even though pramada is false, as long as it is not known as false, as long as the impostor is not known as impostor, he remains real for us anyway. And so long, all the activities done by him also remain real. And so also all the pramana, prameya, vyavahara has reality until the vyavahara is there, because the pramata is not yet falsified. But once that falsification happens in the wake of knowledge, then the vyavahara is not there. That is how, so this last line also is understood that way. Swabhimata ishta devata namocharana purvakam phalitam samanvayasamaha ramanamniti yendi ratnaprabhakara. So samanvaya sutra, whatever the samanvaya sutra has said, phalitam samanvayasam. So whatever samanvaya sutra has conveyed, swabhimata ishta devata namocharana purvakam, by namocharana of the ishta devata. So his own ishta devata is Rama, and by namocharana purvakam. So by utterance of his name, then by beginning with the utterance of the name of Rama, he also tells us what is the samanvaya sutra. Ramanamni paredhamni krishnamnaya samanvaya karitatparyabadena sadhita shuddha buddhe. Ramanamni paredhamni, that paramadhama, the ultimate abode or the ultimate truth, the ultimate light, which is Ramanama, which is the name Rama. So that ultimate truth which is named Rama. Krishna Amnaya Samanvaya. Alone in Rama alone or in Param Brahma alone, Samanvaya, the Tatparya of Krishna Amnaya, not only Vedanta. Because even the Vedas is shown here. How karma kanda also has its pramanyam until the knowledge takes place. So after knowledge takes place, then, so they also have only vyavaharika pramanyam. So Vedahi anekahi ahameva vedyaha. Lord says, I am the one who is to be known by all the Vedas, including karma kanda. So according to Vedantins, not only that Vedanta has its purport in Brahma, even karma kanda also has its purport in Brahma. The Mimamsakas will say that not only karma kanda has its tatparya in karma, even Vedanta has tatparya in karma. Vedantins will show the other way around, that not only Vedanta has tatparya in Brahma, even karma kanda is for what? To create the ground for the knowledge. That is the purpose of karma kanda. Not to keep him going round and round in samsara, to release him from samsara. So dharma is to release and not to bind. And therefore Purva Mimamsa teaches dharma, which also is indirectly a means for release. And therefore, by way of becoming indirect means for release, even karma kanda also becomes a pramanam for Brahma alone. And therefore, Krushnamnaya samanvaya. The entire Ramna of the Veda has its tatparya. So, tatparyane bodhakatvam, that is samanvaya. They teach us what? Only Param Brahma. Karya tatparya bhadena. So, karya tatparyatva, that Vedas have the tatparya of the purport in karya of the kriya, bhadena, that has been shown to be false, that's been shown to be wrong. Sadhitaha, Shuddha Buddha, Samanvaya Sadhitaha. In this fourth sutra, Krishnayamnaya, Krishnamnaya Samanvaya, Ramanamne, Paredhamne, Sadhitaha. It has been, Sadhita means what? Siddha. It has been proven here that all the Vedas have that Samanvaya in Param Brahma. Paredhamne means in Pare Brahmani, which is Rama. Karya tatparya bhadena, by negation of the tatparyatva in kriya. Shuddha Buddha, for what? Shuddha Buddha, for purification of the mind, or for Shuddha Buddhi. For those who are pure in mind, for them it has been shown how. Because those who are not pure in mind, for them the tatparya is still in karma. But for those who are pure in mind, for them the tatparya is in Param Brahma. That is what has been shown by the Samanvaya Sutra. That's how by way of the prayer, the Tikakara beautifully also summarizes the whole discussion of the Samanvaya Sutra. Iti Chathsutri Samapta. This is how is the conclusion of Chathsutri. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sūtra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rahugrasta Divakarendu Sadrusha Maya Samachadhanad Sanmatrah Karanopasamharanato Yo Bhut Sushuptah Puman Pragasvapsvamiti Prabodha Samaye Yah Pratyabhignayate Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye. Balyadishva Vijagradadishu tatha Sarvasvavasthasvapi Vyavrittasvanuvartamanahammityantasfurantam sada. Svatmanam prakatikaroti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam. दक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मन भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रतिवाय एष पुरुष माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो निलो मरमहर् नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदम् यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशताम् यस्मात् परस्माद्विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदम् यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम् अशुभानि निराचष्टे तनोति शुभसन्ततिं स्मृतिमात्रेण यत्पुंसां ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलं परम् अतिकल्याणरूपत्वाद् नित्यकल्याणसंश्रयाद् स्मर्तॄणां वरदत्वाच्च ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलं विदुः ओङ्कारश्चाथ शब्दश्च द्वावेतौ ब्रह्मणः पुरा कण्ठं भित्त्वा विनिर्यातौ तस्मान्माङ्गलिकावुभौ ॐ अथ